Hey, so this is the Serious Viking 2 OC recap, Observer Controller recap. It's, Zmonster here, Kraut. So we've had a great, great time looking at the battle video, the 2 terabytes worth of video from our cameras, talking to the Eastern and Western commanders, Javi Franco, Major Del Papka, and getting their insights, and then comparing notes between the senior mentors.
Yeah.
So 104,000 points versus 101,000 points. Western taking it. Thoughts on the score spread?
Close game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Guys will tell you 5,000 to 10,000 point spread is nothing. That was literally.
It was no runaway.
No,
by any means.
It wasn't a blowout. So I've seen that both sides doing AARs. Major props to both side commanders getting AARs out. To Western putting their staff to work, getting their AAR put together. Quality AAR. Eastern commander gave a video AAR, pretty good. So big pluses here. Task and purpose by both sides. Both commanders gave task and purpose and mission focus directives. Eastern, the chaos. They bring the chaotic activity to the field. Chaos Company being call sign Chaos, but in this case,
albeit sometimes with purpose.
This time it was a little bit more purpose. At Stonebreaker, our comparative AO, GTI being what it is, but this was a very different GTI. You were at both events. What was the big difference you would say for Eastern between Stonebreaker and Viking?
Some of the smaller groups would lose the sight of the objective or what it was they were fighting for, if it was worth it or not, and then not maintaining their force strength that they needed. They were whittling themselves down, still pushing against it as the numbers dwindled from their own force. Yeah,
and I think how Javi, looking at it with Eastern, I was with him 100% of the time. He gave company AOs. So Fight Company, you knew you were regenning, you were going to this area. Dagger Company, you were going back to this area. Chaos, you were going back to this area. And if the players went back to that area, I mean, that's on them. But I'd say the big difference I saw from Serious Viking or GTI Stonebreaker to GTI Viking was 70% of Eastern did what they were told to do versus 30% did what they were told to do at Stonebreaker. So, I take that as a major improvement.
Yeah, it's a step up.
For Western, Papka was bringing the staff back. He put the band back together. Brought Sergeant Major Boyd out. Brought Ben Kiker. Brought Craig White. Awesome leaders.
He had his staff working for him.
Yeah,
doing what they.
And those guys were putting some quality products together. They came in with this mission-oriented. Joe Gable, Jedi 6, putting their special units of Black Knights, putting their stuff together, and then getting on the field and executing
accordingly.
Yeah. Western, man, they have been progressing. The mainstays, the guys that always sign up for Western, have been really taking it. I think Eastern is playing catch-up. I think they've caught up, which is going to make Trenchknife very, very interesting.
The score really shows that.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing it.
Economy of force was another one I think we need to talk about. Both sides attempted economy of force. I think Western edged out on top by putting their ammunition supply point, their mortars, and their command post on top of a digital objective. Some people are like, hey, that's putting a lot of eggs in one basket, but it worked. You had players securing an objective and securing the others,
yeah, in order to keep those in the fight and give you more.
Yeah, economy of force. Eastern did it. They set up their ASP command post and mortars within, sight of each other.
Close proximity.
Proximity, but not on an objective. And I think that 808 is combat power. Realizing it afterwards, going, yeah, I should have moved it up, or. He also was like, well, if I pushed it too far forward, I'd be on top of an objective that was constantly being contended. But at least putting it on an objective, in this case, won't always work. It may not work at Trenchknife. Putting it on an objective, you'll always have players there.
Cycling, they're always going to be there.
They don't want to guard this thing off to the side, but it is a target, and out of eight assaults, we probably had 2 Western assaults get really close to knocking out the mortars, the ASP, and the command post. Both command posts got taken out during the course of the event. Just the sneakiness and
flags were taken.
But I think economy of force, both sides attempted it. Western edged it out barely. Use of the alpha and the casualty collection points. I think Western took this one just because they were, using both CCP and alpha, so they were on both sides of Eastern as they were trying to get into the fight.
I noticed with Western, when their players were either at the alpha or the CCP, they knew the closest objective or where they needed to push out to make the most impact.
And Eastern did as well, but Eastern was really focused coming out of their CCP. A couple of times we dropped some hints, said, hey, you might want to, I said it in the safety brief, sometimes it makes more sense to spawn back at your alpha, not always at the forward. But I think in this case, the shortest distance between 2 points for Eastern was their CCP. And it generally worked. Shorter line of communication, but if they ever wanted to get behind Western, the opportunity was there by starting off at the alpha and coming in, particularly behind Lisa up in the northwest.
Yeah.
Going to the third one, use of the Hilo. Both sides, they got their guys on board the Hilo, but Eastern took the cake.
Eastern maximized that potential.
Those guys they had observers with radios, calling down to the guys on the ground.
Real-time relay and maneuver.
Man, awesome to see that in an Airsoft event where the bird's in the air and he's talking to the guys on the ground. Big shout out to Bubba Moore getting that going. Feeding real-time intel, even calling for fires.
On the go,
relaying targets to his command and getting accurate fires delivered, and then walking troops on in addition to killing with this
trigger. Yeah.
So use of Hilo, man, hands down. Eastern took that. Fires, the big killer on the battlefield.
Artillery reigning supreme. Sorry.
I think both sides killed probably the entire opposite force at least once.
At least once. Maybe.
So we stopped counting. I mean, some of the fire missions of BDA was too numerous to count, and that was at the time over 20. So hey, if they killed more than 10 guys or 20 guys, we just stopped counting. Too numerous, we just put 20 down. By the end of the weekend, I think both sides had somewhere around 500 enemies killed to JDAMs and close air support. So, big success for artillery. Going into Trenchknife, you're going to see the old, here's how many rounds the mortar teams carry, so you can't get too carried away.
Your resources are going to be a little more
and they were constrained.
Realistic.
They were constrained. I mean, Javi, I think he started off with 41 rounds of mortars and 16 cast missions. Both sides had that count, 16 and 41. And if they didn't use them all in that round, they bled over. So Sunday morning comes around, there's a lot of artillery still left, a lot of close air support still left, and they really hammered home,
bringing it down
during phase 3. Going into Trenchknife, it's an evolving battlefield. Each side has 5, or there are 5 casualty collection point sites to choose from. Each side will have 2 CCP kits, so they can choose 2 out of the 5.
So if you can do math, that's 3 places.
Yeah. Counting your alpha plus the 2 forward CCPs that you can go and set up your CCP at. Now, what if you want to go there and the other side beats you there? Well, you better have an alternate. So commanders, you're going to have to really look at what CCPs mean the most to you. Alphas, Eastern and Western picked up immediately. They're like, Zmonster is sadistic. He's putting both our alphas right next to each other parallel again. Hey, we are big fans of parallel starts. One, it gets the action like
right
that,
off.
Man. I mean, as soon as recon phase starts, you got the snipers, DMRs immediately going, like, do I fight you or do I get down range? And then the main battle phase will always be fun. You guys will be crossing that hardball road to get into the Catif, trying to get down range during the main battle phase. That'll be hilarious for the staff to watch. We'll get it on video as well. But so the alphas, the 5 different CCPs, command posts. You guys have to set up your command posts. You have to get them downfield, get them established. ammunition supply point, commanders, you will not make the call where those go. We the staff will put them on the field, and then tell you that you hurry up and have to go and secure them. Mortar firing points, we'll get with you guys ahead of the round, and you guys will have to pick where you want them. But there will be a total of 2 per side. So you're going to have 2 mortar firing points. It's a big AO. It is a really big AO. Of course, you'll have cargo trucks to move you around the battlefield. I think right now the vehicle count is 1 vehicle on each side. Something to think about. So you'll have at least 1 gun truck apiece. Life support. If you guys are watching our website, we're doing some updates. We did drop a blog talking about trench knife. Camping is in this case, pay the ticket for the barracks, get on the barracks. You'll have latrine access, showers. If you're going to bring an RV or a camper, you can set up no charge on the fob. Just be advised, there are no hookups. There are latrines and showers. Down at the CATIF main mount site, across the street, there's the command post, the CP. You guys, that is the staging area for players. So you guys can drive in and park there. That's where the rounds will start and finish.
Carpool, maximize your,
but check-in will be up at the fob. So check in at the fob, then you can roll down to check-in, chrono, and then you can get down to the parking area for StartX. Trench knife tier 1s, all I can say is they're going to be awesome. Coach is working on that. It's Camp Shelby, so he's been there plenty of times. Tunnels? So in addition to vending, we're going to have Airsoft junkies there. We'll have Tactical. They'll be there selling their sweet patches. Be advised, vending will be split for junkies. They'll be up at the fob, and then they'll have a forward vending site down at the command post down across the street from the CATIF. So if you're running out of BBs, need more pyro, whatever, on your way back to the Alpha, you can just break off, go right in, safe your weapon, go right into the vending area, buy what you need, and then get right back on the field. Guys, dead rags, bandages, tourniquets, you need them, get them. We're going to put the tourniquets up for sale so we can start advanced sales. We know how many to bring. Be on the lookout for those. So that's trench knife. Guys, tickets are going really, really fast. Get your tickets. Western, you're behind on ticket sales, so you need to. I know I must have gotten at least 40 emails this weekend about Western. Guys, get your tickets. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate. You're going to go. $110 tickets, not too much to.
It's a great AO.
For Shelby, man. Come on. And then Bone Strike.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the AO, man?
I get excited every time I think about it. You've got to get in there. You've got to get on it, guys. It's going to be limited numbers.
Yeah, 250 players, not any more than that. We want to make sure you guys have plenty of space to maneuver. This is going to be a very unique AO for us because mortars, close air support, non-existent. It's not going to happen. So Western, all your camo patterns are alive and active. You can rock them. Eastern, you can rock civilian look or your Eastern camo. You're really looking for civilian look. I think some of the guys are getting pediatric scrubs, and they're going to rock pediatric scrubs. So I'm going to see the cat camo.
Oh yeah.
Or the dinosaur camo.
Went in the hospital.
Yeah. So those guys players are already leaning forward. Tickets are not on sale yet. They will be once we close out trench knife ticket sales. That AO, it's a premium. We're the first ones ever to go there. We're going to drop the photos soon. But yeah, tier 1s, those will be limited as well. We're only doing 40 slots a night. I think we're going to the morgue. Anyways, so keep an eye out for that one. That's the first weekend of February. But trench knife is coming around the corner. So be sure to get your tickets for trench knife before the ticket sales cut out. I think we've got about 2.5 weeks before we cut ticket sales for trench knife. We're expecting to sell out, guys. So be sure to get your tickets. We are well on track to sell out. So please get your tickets. All right, guys. What was that friendly thing you said? For God's sakes.
Call your hits.
All right, man. We'll see you guys.